RBT family, what is the deal? It's your dog Willie Jack, and we are back, baby, back with more NFL action. As y'all should have expected, y'all know what's going on, man. Y'all know exactly what time it is. NFL Week 7 is here. There's tons of great matchups to talk about. We had an exciting week of college football as well. You know, we might tap into that as well, man. Some of the big name programs, of course, had some huge matchups. Capped off by that Georgia Texas game, number 1 versus number 5. So we'll spend a little time talking about that as well. Oh, and a couple of other major players around the country as well, just to have a little fun. Then also, man, cannot deny it, man. There's some very good matchups this week that we have in store for us. Getting started today, Sunday. So a lot of good matchups. Super excited to get into this week's slate of games for sure. And then look who's the early bird in the building. Mom Dukes, what's going on? Appreciate you as always. There we go. See there we go. Yeah, see, it feels good. It feels right when you ain't here on time. See, sometimes you be slipping, you be slacking in your macking sometimes. They be beating you to the party. But no, I definitely appreciate you as always. And then 1 second here. Let me go ahead and make sure I got everything lined up like I need. Now, I know I told y'all Wednesday, and I know we got some games today, but until further notice, until these games start today at 12:01 p.m. Central, kickoff, all of them except the London game that's going on right now. Boys on the heater, man. I was 13-0 last week. I don't care what y'all say. I was 13-0, man. And like 6 or 7 of them was in line with the spread. Your boy's hot. So pay attention today. We'll see if we can keep it going. But your boy right now, until it's 12:01 Central Time, I'm 13-0, man. 13-0 right now. Make sure I remind y'all, in case y'all didn't know. In case y'all forgot, y'all must have forgot. That's what it was. Y'all must have forgot. Don't even trip. I got you. 13-0 last week, boy. Get your notepads, pens, and papers ready. And we'll see if we can keep it going. It's some good matchups this week, though. Definitely some good matchups this week. There's a couple contenders for game of the week, but I feel good about the one I chose to go along with. So we'll see how this week shakes out. And you know what? While we're waiting for everybody to get in here and get comfortable, let's go ahead and get a little live update of the game that's already going on. So there's a London game, of course. New England at Jacksonville, technically, but the game are listed as, but the game is being played in London, so neutral site. Almost a neutral site. Jacksonville, London is Jacksonville East, essentially. So, what's the guy's name? Shahid Khan, the owner from Jacksonville, has done the most to embrace the London venue. I believe. I mean, they've already been over there once this year already, if I'm not mistaken. This is maybe their second game in London, I want to say. But I want to say they've been the most regular participant in the London-based venue football or NFL games by far. I think I'm not stretching the truth when I say that. Let's get a little score check. Okay, so they just got to halftime. So I predicted Jacksonville to win this game 20-17. And honestly, they're right on track. It's halftime now, and the score is Jacksonville leading 22-10. So, barring anything crazy in the second half, it looks like that one should come through for your boy. We got a couple more of them members in the building. What's going on, sis, in the building? What's happening? Hey, come on, man. One of them members in the building, man. Hey, man, you know what's going on, man. It's Big Nation Business in the building, man. Come on, man. Big Nation Business, man. He know what's going on. Them Steelers for life, man. He know what's going on. Hey, now, Josh, man, while I got you, bro, how you feel about Russ, dog? Russ getting that start off adjusted, bro. How you feeling? How you feeling, man? Steelers Nation has been split about this Russell Wilson and Justin Fields quarterback situation. I want to know what my dog Josh think, man. He one of them members. I'm not gonna lie, man. While I wait on you, bro, I'm ready for it, dog. And it's not even that I'm not necessarily out on Justin Fields, but you know what I'm saying? Like man, look, I'm ready for Russ, man. I'm ready for consistency, man. Hey, man, you feel me? It's perfect timing, bro. We have found a way to stay competitive and keep winning, but truthfully, bro, Justin looked bad these last 2 games, dog. That's just the truth. Bro, he ain't play good ball these last 2 games, dog. And then even in the first 4 before that, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was up and down. Like, he got bailed out by like a few exciting plays. You know what I'm saying? But man, on the whole, man, there's been a lot more downs than ups. Honestly, it really has. Sis in the building. She said she ready for it too. Yeah, like I said, man, and I'm not done on Justin. Like I want to see what I want Justin to stick in our building, bro. For let's say like these next like 3 years. Let's see what we can do with Justin Fields. Continue to develop him because he's already like made some progress from what we've seen in Chicago to here. Like not as far as his overall production, but just like cleaning up his play. Like he hasn't had a lot of turnovers. Well, he hasn't had a lot of interceptions. He's still been fumbling the ball though. He's got like 5 fumbles. But he hasn't had a lot of interceptions. Not any that counted. See, that's the thing about it as well. Because there are some interceptions in this tape, but a couple dropped interceptions or interceptions that get nullified because of a penalty. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But at the same time, man, it hasn't been as clean as a lot of people are making it sound, dog. Josh came back. He said use both QBs as a scheme. Yeah, and you know what? And Coach Mike, he said something like that. Like it's gonna be like Russell's gonna start, but there's definitely gonna be some style of Justin Fields package, especially in the red zone. I would think. Like that's really where he's been showing his worth is running, like his running ability in the red zone. Because he's got like 5 rushing touchdowns. I think he's got 10 touchdowns total. No, I think he might got more than that then. He's got 10 touchdowns total, I believe. But I want to say he's only thrown 3 touchdowns, I want to say. So he might got more. He might got closer to 6 or 7 rushing touchdowns then. But yeah, that's really where he's shown his worth for sure. So I definitely think he's going to play today. But I'm not going to lie, man. I'm ready to see what Russ can do, man. I'm ready to see what Russ can do. Hefe in the building, man. What's going on, man? You know what's going on, man. You know what I'm saying? Sunday, got up early, ready to get these games going. You already know. Sis came back in the video. She said, that's not the point. He was never meant to be the one. He did it. That's a fact. Justin wasn't brought here to be the starter. Russell Wilson was brought here to be the starter. Justin Fields came here with an understanding that he'd have an opportunity. But if everything played out how the Steelers, how Mike Tomlin, Russell Wilson, if everything played out to plan, Justin was going to back up Russell Wilson this year. Justin was going to back up Russell Wilson this year. And then he was going to be, it was a longer term development. It was an extended plan. Like, okay, maybe he has a chance. Maybe he sees the field. Maybe he surprises us. He does something. But it was never in the cards necessarily for Justin Fields to definitely not be the day one starter and to definitely not be the starter for the full season. So that's what I'm saying. Like, and that's all to talk about, man, they're going to crush Justin's confidence. And now how can you ever go back to, man, like, no, man. It ain't like he lost and that when people are saying he lost the starting job, he was never the starter. He didn't get the okay to start until the Friday before week 1. He wasn't playing to start. Russell Wilson was the week 1 starter, the announced starter for this team. He aggravates an injury on Friday night or Friday whenever. Then Justin like, oh, hey, damn, bro. Man, hey, yeah, Russ ain't gonna make it. You in there. It's the same, it's a similar situation to the Jordan Mason, the running back in San Francisco. He's not the starter. Christian McCaffrey is the starter. He's injured. Jordan Mason found out Friday night, much like Justin Fields did, like, hey, bro, you actually gonna start. And yeah, now you get to run with it for a little bit. At no point are you're not the starter. If Christian McCaffrey showed up today, before kickoff ready to go, guess who's playing? Chris McCaffrey, because he's the starter. It's the same thing with this Russell Wilson situation, dog. He was injured. They took their time, letting him make sure he can come back and be as healthy as possible. And honestly, because of the fact that Justin Fields had flashed a little, he had flashed a little bit, and we had found a way to win without him turning the ball over, I guess, excessively. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it probably delayed the return of Russ because you don't necessarily want to stop a good thing. If it ain't broke, you try not to fix it. But there's a difference between it not being broke and, you know what I'm saying, like getting by. There was a certain point where it felt like we started just getting by. Like, I don't want to see I don't want to play 2.5 quarters of bad football, not moving the ball at all, and then needing 2 red zone turnovers, a block punt. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to need all of that so that Justin can give me them 3 highlight level plays that end up getting us over the edge. But, bro, we can't count on that, bro. We can't bank on that, man. Hell no. If this was boxing, I would never tell a dude, go in there and get your face beat in for 11 rounds and wait for that one. Because that one might not come, bro, and now you just got your ass beat for 30. But, man, yeah, no, it don't work like that, bro. It can't work like that, man. My dog, man, Miles in the building. What's happening? What's going on, man? What's happening? Ooh, he came in a little spicy, man. He said put his ass on the bench, man. Hey, we definitely need Russ to get these receivers going, dog. And that's what I'm saying. Like, bruh, the offense isn't spectacular. It's not Sean McVay. It's not Kyle Shanahan. It's not homeboy in Minnesota with the Vikings. It's not Kevin O'Connell. It's not old boy with the Lions. You know what I'm saying? Ben Johnson. The offense isn't that anyway. But we've got to execute the opportunities that are there. And that's what Justice not doing, dog. Because it's similar, not as bad at all to last year with Kenny Pickett and, oh boy, he who must not never be named again in Pittsburgh, the last OC. We're going to erase him from the history books. The offense isn't as bland or dry as that. But even in that dry-ass offense last year, there were still misses that Kenny couldn't hit. So, and it's similar in that way to this Arthur Smith offense. Is like, this isn't, you know what I'm saying? This isn't fireworks. So we've got to execute when the players are there. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Justin's missing as well. Defense been playing lights out. It's looking real Trent Dilferish. Man, that's crazy, man. Golly. Man, that feels a little harsh, but I get what you're saying, though, dog. It's just ugly when you gotta mention Trent Dilfer. Man, nah, man, we can't go that hard on him with Trent. But it's a fair critique though, bro, because just like you're saying, if the defense isn't like, and we saw that in the Cowboys game, if the defense isn't gonna be lights out, then it's too little, too late. That's what happened in that Cowboy game. We started to get a couple things going in that second half. And that score looks a lot closer than the game actually was. We just weren't competitive at all for, like I said, 2.5 to 3 quarters of that game. And so it goes in the books as a 3-point loss. And yeah, we had the lead. We had the lead with the fourth quarter. And we definitely, I'm not going to bail the defense out. They got to stand up, bro. We need one stop. We need one stop to get out the game. And then even though we never get that stop on that drive, guess what we do get still? We get a 4th and goal from the 5. So there was multiple opportunities for the defense to step up, but that it goes back to what we're saying, man. Why are we putting ourselves in position to have the defense either save us or, you know what I'm saying, or beat Superman? Not while there's opportunities that could have made the game easier along the way. That's the point I'm making. Nah, don't go too far, cuz. Now you're going too far. Kyle Allen's not better, bro. He came in the game and he made one pass to Pat Freiermuth that was impressive because then it feel like that spark when Justin Fields came out and Kyle Allen came into the game, and the first thing he does is drop back right there on time in a tight window, his Pat Freiermuth for about 15, 18 yards, and then he came right back out. That was the spark in that game that at least got some offensive momentum going. And then, you know what's crazy though, Miles? When Justin Fields came in, we ran that same play right back. And Justin Fields hit the same pass. A little shorter. But yeah, no, I ain't gonna say he better though. Nah, bro. Nah. Hey, D-Dot hey, man, D-Dot know what's going on. Big Nation business, man. Come on, man. Big Nation business in the building, man. Already. But yeah, no, I can't go. Kyle Allen's better, bro. No. Kyle Allen and a lot of these guys, like, we can't be fooled by these guys. We see this story all the time, man. Like, Kyle Allen is the same. Kyle Allen is a type of guy that, man, what's that guy from he was with the Commanders that came in and fooled Chop. Chop went all in on Buddy for the Commanders. Now I can't think of his name. But we've seen these type of guys before. Like, you come in, you have a spark, and I ain't gonna say he came and had a spark. Man threw one pass. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I ain't gonna go that far. So he'll be a good backup. Charlie Batch and Chase Daniels. Are you talking about Kyle Allen or are you talking about Justin Fields? But depending on which one you're talking about, and honestly, I'm not ready to just. I'm not quite ready to say that Justin Fields can't find his way to being a starter. Like, I do think it is like a longer development path, and that's the good. No, not Sam Howell, bro. Well, Sam Howell was a quarterback for the Commanders. No, I ain't gonna lie. I like Sam Howell, man. I liked what I seen from him. But the dude, the year before that, where it was before Tyler Heineke, there it is. Isaiah in the building, man. What's going on, bro? Tyler Heineke, Miles. That's what I was talking about. Chop went all in on Tyler Heineke, dog. When he had that, he helped them with like a comeback win against, I don't know, whoever it was. They had like an impressive fourth quarter drive. I think they might have beat the Buccaneers with Tom Brady now. I think they came back. They had like a game-winning drive against the Buccaneers when Tom was there his last year. Something like that, if I remember right. But yeah, Tyler Heineke, I think that's who it was. And then I think Tyler Heineke ended up getting like a big backup contract, like a large backup style contract to go to Atlanta. And then he was in that quarterback room with, it was him, Marcus Mariota, and Desmond Ridder. My fault, I keep forgetting to put this chat up sometimes. Yeah, but Tyler Heineke, that's who I was thinking about. Miles, there we go. Don't let Kyle Allen, Tyler Heineke, you dog. Don't do it. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. Oh, I said he a Chargers backup now. Damn. See, look, hey, see how life comes at you fast. Because he'd probably played on 3 teams since then. Hey, D-Dot know what's going on, man. D-Dot know what's going on, man. D-Dot know what's going on. I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm ready to see Russ, man. I really am. Like, and not to even say that it's guaranteed that, you know what I'm saying, that he's gonna come in and beat lights out. Or, I'm not even saying that. I don't want to be misconstrued as saying, see, I told y'all it should have been like, nah, but it's time to see though. Like, Justin opened that door himself. And shout out to Justin Fields, man. If y'all seen some of the like the interviews he was doing this week talking about it, he was honest up front, and this would make me even respect him even a little more. There's few things more rare, and I'm gonna talk to y'all a little bit. Little life nugget. There's few things in this world more rare than not even just a man, just an individual that can have honest, unbiased, critical critique of oneself. You know what I'm saying? And that's what he gave. He's like, look, man, it's only a conversation because I ain't play good enough. Flat out. And that's exactly what it is, bro. You had 6 games to make. We could have forgot Russell's there. It could have been an afternote. There were times, maybe prematurely, but there was times when people was ready to be like that, to feel that way. But nah, man, it never got to that point. It never got to the point where, you know what I'm saying? It never got to the point where, nah, we still can see what's up. And Justin's fully aware of that. So it ain't me just saying it. It ain't Miles just saying it. It ain't some of y'all just saying it. Justin said it. Bro, I had a chance. I had 6 games to go out there and get it done. And he said the same thing. He's like, yeah, we won a few games, but I ain't played well enough. I ain't mad at it, man. I respect it. But yeah, man, I'm glad y'all in here warmed up. And matter of fact, man, before we run down these games, did y'all catch a little college football this weekend, man? It was some good ones. some big name matchups, some heavyweight matchups. Let me know if y'all caught any of them, man. Bama loses. Now them losing to Vanderbilt, that's unacceptable. That's inexcusable, unacceptable, cannot, should not happen. Especially the week after you look as good as you did for 3.5 quarters against Georgia. You get catapulted to number 1, then you go out there and lay an absolute egg in Nashville, Tennessee to Vanderbilt. To a 5'10", 220-pound keg stand drinker named Diego Pavlia. D2 transfer in Vandy. That was crazy. But yeah, and Vandy spanked them, put it on them. Then now you get a heavyweight matchup, Tennessee, on the road in Tennessee. Both of y'all ranked. You know what I'm saying? I think Alabama's back at 11. And I want to say Tennessee was ranked 11. And so, yeah, another heavyweight matchup, but a late turnover by Milroe. Kind of, yeah, I think it's what ended up sealing the deal for Tennessee. Or did they go down and score after that? Either way, but yeah, no, they lose on the road to Tennessee, man. And then Miles in here. Miles, bro, I ain't forgot. Miles had catapulted Jalen Milroe to the Heisman front runner. Bro, hey, it's been a fall from grace these last 2 weeks. I ain't gonna lie. It's been a fall from grace these last 2 weeks. D-Dot said BYU got something. And you know what? I'm going to check their score too. I know I believe they was 5-0? Who did they just play? And what's crazy, I'm looking it up now. Because I think I might have been talking to my auntie, honestly, and randomly BYU came up. Yeah, that's why. Because they beat Oklahoma State. And so, yeah, a lot of my family, we follow the Oklahoma teams as well. Yeah. But now BYU cooking, man. BYU cooking. Georgia and Texas was good. Well, and see, this is the thing. I don't even necessarily think it was good. And here's the thing. I think the final score is 30-15. Georgia really beat Texas ass, though. Like, Georgia really put paws on Texas, bro. And, well, the defense did. Like, Georgia's defensive line completely dominated Texas' offensive line, bro. Like, bad. Especially that right side of the line. Now, I know the right side is the young side. It's like that, especially that right tackle. I don't know if he's a redshirt freshman. I think, like, they 6 games into the season, and he's got 6 starts in his career. So he's a young player. Boy, he was out there getting... Man, I don't want to be too disrespectful, man. He's a young guy. I'm sure in 3 years, when the time comes, he'll be a top 10 prospect. You know what I'm saying? But, boy, it was a rough day on the job, boy. It was a rough day on the damn job then. And then here's the thing as well. In my fact, Isaiah in here, your boy Kelvin Banks, man. And Kelvin Banks going to be a stud. But he got some of it too. Like, he wasn't exempt, man. He wasn't exempt at all. And I think the last strip sack that really kind of, like, there was a point in the game where Texas looked like they might find a way to get back in it. You know what I mean? They get the touchdown in the second half. They get the 2-point conversion. They cut the score to 23-15. And is it Mikael Williams? I want to say Mikael Williams. He's the stud defensive or edge player from Georgia. I think he's number 13. But nah, man, he wins off the left tackle. He wins off the right edge, defensive right edge across the left. You know what I'm saying? Blows by the left tackle, Kelvin Banks, and gets a strip sack. Another turnover for Ewers in that Texas offense. Georgia, they recover and pick it back up. They right there like inside the 35 again. And I think that's led to the touchdown that made it 30-15. Y'all might correct me on the timeline. But yeah, man, hey, Banks wasn't exempt either. And I'll tell you what, 13 from Georgia, I wasn't sure if he was going to be Trayvon Walker, where he's got that crazy, I don't know, where they finding these dudes at in Georgia? Let's take a break. Georgia rotates more 6'5", 270+ pound, 6% body fat, 4'5" running up. They find more of these people year after year than anybody in the world, in the country. Because they got another one. Where Michael Williams come from? McKelty Williams. You know what I'm saying? Buddy like 6'5", 270. I know in April he gonna run 4.52. Vertical gonna be like 40 and a half, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, he gets by Banks, and Banks is arguably tackle 1, tackle 2 in the draft. To this point early on. You know what I mean? But so Banks wasn't exempt either. And not just that, I think Banks gave up 2 sacks in that game. That one that I'm thinking about that was like in the second half where Texas was trying to maybe get back in it. It was ended up being a strip sack on Ewers, but now he got some of that work too. Now he wasn't exempt. He wasn't exempt at all, and that's a credit to Georgia shit. Cause man, it was some real kind of bully ball going on for a little bit, boy. It was ugly, and I'm glad they pulled Quinn Ewers because I was thinking to myself like, man, we got to get him out of there. He was just from the jump. For one, he was dropping so deep back into the pocket that the tackles can't keep up with the speed. You know what I'm saying? So some of it was on Quinn a little bit, but at the same time, I mean, everybody up there was taking L's. Everybody up there was taking losses. And so, I mean, he didn't help the problem. He might have compounded the problem, but it was ugly football, man. When he was 6 for 12 with a fumble lost and an interception, and I think he had only thrown like 19 yards. 6 for 12 for like 19 yards, a fumble loss, and an interception. It was time to. I'm glad they pulled him, and I like when they pulled him. It was 4 minutes left before halftime, so this is perfect. Go ahead and throw Arch out there, see if we get a spark. And I'm still curious. Some things didn't go right with Arch, but Quinn just looked shook. I don't know how y'all felt. I thought Quinn looked shook. The boy was shaking. He wasn't stirred. I don't know what else to tell you. You know what I mean? But like, yeah, he looked shook. I'll tell you the play that I think probably sealed it for Archie when he missed that deep crosser. In the man, y'all gonna get me on my little soapbox here. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna break down film for y'all, but it was a good route combination. You got it was a deep cross by number 2 on the right side, and then number 3 runs a deep dig underneath of it. So you got a dig going like, let's say 15 to 18 yards across the field, and that cross is probably 21, 24 yards up the field. He tries to lob a pass over to hit the cross. Instead, because the dig, number 3 on the dig comes wide open right behind him. So that cross essentially clears it out. Bro, he hits that. That's probably a catch and run for another 10, 12 yards maybe. You know what I'm saying? Big play. And so instead, he tries to fit a pass into the crosser, the number 2, overthrows it, or, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, overthrows it a little bit, but he waits another half beat. He's going to get number 3 coming on that dig. And it's going to be a big game. And then what's crazy is Texas came out with Ewers in the second half, and that was the first big play of the second half. They ran that play right back. And he waits on it and hits the dig instead. I don't know if y'all peeped that. I don't know if y'all caught that, though. But I'm going to chill. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to overload, y'all. Sis said Mizzou pulled through, man. Yeah, man. Hey, Brady Cook, man. Respectfully, dog. I mean, I ain't going to knock him, man. He showed a lot of heart, though, man. He goes down in that game. He leaves the game, leaves the stadium. They take him to the hospital. Now, if y'all are familiar with Mizzou setup, University Hospital is literally right across the field. It's essentially, yeah, it's right, it's across the street. It's literally, it's a half a mile away from the stadium. So, yeah, they got him over there. I guess he got an MRI on his ankle. They had him laid up in a hospital bed, and then he was just like, hey, yeah, nah, somebody, I need an Uber, I need a taxi. Give me back. And yeah, shit, they brought him back. He suited up. He came back in. And that first drive was ugly, but it is what it is, man. They did find a way to pull back and get it done. Miles said, and the secondary. My bad, man. I done got behind on my comments. In the secondary. I assume you talking Texas. Well, here's the thing about that Texas secondary. Like, I didn't like what they did. Well, also, we also got to keep in mind now, they had 3 interceptions on Carson Beck. They did have 3 interceptions in the game for sure. And that last one, the last DPI, when they get the big return, man, I'm so glad they got that. They huddled and got that right, because that was a terrible call. The receiver runs dead at the Texas DB for like 12 yards and bench presses him. Runs out, puts 2 hands in his chest and extends. You'd have thought he was lead blocking. You know what I mean? Like it was terrible. And then they call that flag. Then he gets the interception and runs it back to like the 5. They throw that DPI flag. Then what happens is the crowd in Texas goes crazy. So they start throwing all type of trash and litter on the field. They call a delay of game penalty because you got to get that stuff cleaned up before the play could continue. And then while that's all going on, some of the other referees, they went and hollered at, like, hey, man, let me talk to you, bro. What you doing out here, man? That's a bullshit call, bro. And they overturn it. But that's still crazy. If I'm Georgia, like, I'm pissed off because that play's not reviewable. A review didn't happen. It's not like it's not challengeable or reviewable. You know what I'm saying? So, and the play was made. And not only was the call was made. So, boom. Now, when that call gets made, sometimes they'll huddle or powwow before making it official. But they made the call. They made it official. Then we get a secondary penalty. So, gameplay is resumed. Presumably, you know what I mean? Like, they didn't get to take another snap, but we have another like hard break. You know what I'm saying? Like the second penalty for the delay, like the game has moved forward past that call now. So it felt like really retroactive. Like, I don't know, man. It was, I think Georgia probably has a legitimate gripe about the way that play call was handled, honestly. Now, I think the right call was made at the end because it wasn't DPI, but just the way things go, man, the milk was spilled. So if I'm Georgia, I'd been pissed. Or rightfully so, they were pissed. Dawg says, he said safety's coming downhill with bad intentions. Man, that's a fact. That's definitely a fact. Matter of fact, speaking of safeties coming down here with bad intentions, if y'all watch that Mizzou game, boy, somebody got they full chest caved in. Receiver from Auburn got his ass, man, split into, man, nah, that sound, man, y'all gonna kill me for that. Man, boy got his chest caved in. I'm talking about writhing in pain. The boy was trying to rip his pads off this way. He was trying to rip his pads off this way. His chest was caved in so bad. That boy snatched his helmet out. He was rolling. I ain't lie. I went from, damn, that's a good ass hit, to like, man, he killed his buddy dying? I didn't know if he punctured a lung. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, whoa, hold on. Something must really be wrong with Cuz. Because he was going crazy. You'd have thought somebody set him on fire. All to find out, you know what I'm saying, after like a little 5 minutes, whatever, got up and jogged off the field like, oh, boy, yo soft ass. I don't give a damn if it felt like that, boy. You got to, hey, man, you better crawl out the field, go hide in the blue tent, go cry in the tent. You ain't going to tell me he wasn't crying on the field. Hell no. Okay. Isaiah said Texas still winning the Natty, and Kevin had a bad second half. He was dominant the first half. I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, yeah, man, he got worked out a little bit, man. He got worked out a little bit in this one. I ain't gonna lie to you. He got worked out a little bit in this one. He really did, bro. He said Texas still winning the Natty. I'm thinking about that. I'm gonna think about that. Cause I ain't gonna lie, cause everybody can't do to Texas what Georgia did. Realistically, they couldn't run the ball at all. They just completely got dominated up front. Like, they just couldn't run, block, couldn't pass attack. I mean, like I said, they couldn't do either or, like, at all. So that's all. I don't know, man. You might be. I mean, they still in good shape. I don't think the season's over at all. I don't think the season's over at all. But yeah, I don't, man. Yeah, everybody can't do to them what Georgia did. Georgia Georgia's quarterback threw 3 interceptions in this game, and they dominated the number 1 team in the country. We got to think about it, dog. Their quarterback didn't throw a touchdown. He didn't pass for 200 yards. He threw 3 interceptions. They dominated. Peter rolled Texas. The game 15-30 is closer than that game felt. That game felt like the first half of Alabama, Georgia. If you'd have told me it was 50-3 at halftime, I'd have believed you. That's how it felt. It was, man, it was ugly business for Texas, boy. They just got completely dominated up front. So, I mean, yeah, I don't think it's over for Texas. That was just a terrible matchup for them for sure. That was a terrible matchup. Definitely. Yeah, and yet he missed some throws. He had bad protection. I mean, his pocket presence didn't help. His pocket presence probably exacerbated. That's y'all word of the day. His pocket presence probably exacerbated the issues, but nah, all 5 men up front got smoked all day. And like he kept dropping back and getting deeper into the pocket, and then that just made it worse on those tackles because Georgia keeps a gang of 6'5", 270 motherfuckers running 4'5". So he didn't help the situation, but he didn't start the problem either though. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel better. I would feel better saying he had bad pocket presence if he had protection and then he like moved or bailed from clean pockets and got himself into trouble. Nah, the O-line got their ass whooped, boy. They really did. They really did. He said NA be trash in the league. Hey, you ain't lying, man. You ain't lying. Trayvon Walker had a big day like 2 weeks ago, though. He had 3 sacks, I think 2 games ago, for what that's worth. But yeah, they haven't necessarily panned out. Man, now I gotta think about it now that you say that too. I'm trying to think of one that's a guy. Damn. Damn, boy. Hey. When you're right, you're right. I'm trying to think of one that's you know what I'm saying, that worked out, and I can't either. Damn. But I tell you what, man, they know what they're doing as far as NC2A ball, because they keep them motherfuckers rolling, boy. Arch didn't play bad, but Quinn didn't play well and turned the ball over a lot. And yeah, and that's the thing too. It's one of those things where, like, Arch didn't necessarily play bad, but like similar to he didn't do enough to stay. So I wasn't upset that they went back to Quinn. You know what I'm saying, when the second half started, because it's a hard reset. So like if I was the coach in that locker room in the second half, like what I'd have told Quinn, like I would have wanted, man, take them pants off, take that jersey off, take them socks off, take them cleats off. You know what I'm saying? Like this is a brand new game for you right now, bro. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we're gonna talk, we're gonna do some shit. I want him in new socks, new pants, new jersey, new cleats. And start this second like a hard reset. You know what I mean? Like a hard reset for Quinn. That's what I'd have did. And maybe that's what they did. So I'm not necessarily mad that they went back to Quinn, because I mean Arch didn't do enough to stick. If Arch hits that play I was telling y'all about with the clear out cross from 2 and the backside dig from 3 that came open underneath, he hits that play, it's a different half. And you know what I'm saying? Who knows if they drive and get a field goal right there, you know, or whatever. Like he hits that play, yeah, I feel better about leaving him in, but it's a miss. And then he also took a sack. He also got sacked. He didn't turn the ball over though. I was trying to remember if he got strip sacked or not, but no, I don't think so. But they still didn't move the ball. He did have a decent scramble, and then they had a first down off of a penalty, but he couldn't move the offense either. So I'm not mad they went back to Quinn. See, Quay Walker is not with the Packers. I don't feel good calling him a player, dog. He ain't a player. He's a guy. He's a guy on the field, but he's not a player. I mean, respectfully. I mean, I'm not, you know what I'm saying, dudes in the NFL, he's doing his thing, but I'm saying, like, he's a guy that's in a group of guys in the middle. You know what I mean? There's 40 guys that are in the same category as a Quay Walker. Nolan Smith, I really liked a lot coming out, but he's undersized and he hasn't got a chance to really get going with the Eagles in the way they use him. But I liked him though, man. I loved watching his film. It's something about a dude 6'2", 240 that's playing like 5 tech. You know what I'm saying? Like head up on a tackle. You know what I'm saying? Like 4-eye. He might play 4-eye and get pressure at 6'2", 240. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. The Eagles got a lot of problems and they got a lot of stuff going on with their scheme. I don't know, man. I don't want to bail on Nolan Smith just yet. I just think he might need to find his place. Yeah, Nakobe Dean didn't really pan out. Like I said, Trayvon had 3 sacks the other way. Jordan Davis, no, Jalen Carter's a stud. Jalen Carter's a guy. Jalen Carter's a stud. Like I said, and he's still young, but like I think conditioning is a big thing for him, or at least it wasn't his rookie year. But I think like you know what Jalen Carter reminds me of, man? Chris Jones. Chris Jones really kind of found his stride year 3, year 4. Like conditioning, like I don't want to say attitude, but just you know what I'm saying? Like there's like like he's got Chris Jones type of ability. So like yeah, I think Jalen Carter's gonna be all right. My dog in the building, man. Terrible time, man, in the building. And of course, holding it down for them Texans. He said Texas to the Super Bowl. You know what? Hey, Tom, you right on time, man. It might be the perfect transition. We down there 45 minutes in. We ain't talked about nan game yet. Real quick, man. I'm gonna give an update on this Jacksonville game. Let's see what the live score talk about. Okay. Yeah. Top of the fourth quarter. Jaguars are up 25-10. Patriots do have the ball. So, like I said, I expect Jacksonville to hold on and finish this one out, but I ain't putting nothing past Jacksonville, bro. I ain't putting nothing past Jacksonville at all. My dog Miles said, Chris Jones still got terrible win. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, he does a lot though, man. Chris Jones is 6'5", 320. And shit, sometimes he plays wide 9. Like he might play wide 9. Literally. And get home though. 6'5", 320. He's in a wide 9, and bro, he'll get home. Like, hey, buddy, nice, man. I think Jalen Carter can have that type of impact, I think. Now, not necessarily, I ain't saying I want to see Jalen Carter in the wide 9. And every time they do that with Chris Jones, sometimes it feels a little forced. Like, we don't always have to just do it for the sake of doing it. But I think Jalen Carter can, like, develop into a Chris Jones style of threat. Just like a guy that's just like, he's got terrific build, size, like I said, that 6'5", 320 mark, quicker than he should be, strong as a bull. You know what I mean? Like Jalen Carter reminds me a lot of Chris Jones. Moving on, man. Seattle on the road at Atlanta. I'm taking the Dirty Birds, man. 30-24. Captain Kirk or Kirkwood Kirk. You know what I'm saying? East Atlanta Kirk. I think East Atlanta Kirk gets it done, man. Seattle's defense, they've got some injuries. They've been a little banged up, and they honestly they haven't been as stout as they were to maybe start this season. I feel like they were a lot stronger to start this season. Now, like I said, they've been beat up, especially on that defensive line. Byron Murphy, the young guy for Texas, missed a lot of time. Leonard Williams has been out. Boye Mafe, top edge rusher, he's been out as well. So they've had some injuries there, but like I said, that defense hasn't played up to snuff. In East Atlanta, Kurt been cooking. So I'm going Atlanta at the crib, 30-24. Moving on, man. I'm going to try to blow through some of these so we can get back to just talking a little talk. Tennessee on the road at Buffalo. I'm excited to see this game. I just want to see Big Josh finally got a receiver. Amari Cooper comes over from the Browns. I'm anxious to see just how they look. This is only week 1, so I'm curious to see how long it's going to take for them to kind of get a rapport or get on the same page. But they do get a soft target in Tennessee at the crib. Mason Rudolph is going to be starting today for the Titans. I expect Buffalo to roll 27-17. Cincinnati on the road at Cleveland. Cleveland's defense always has to be mentioned. You know, they're respectable. But I expect Cincinnati to do enough, especially offensively. It's 2-on-1. You know what I mean? So when you talk offense for Cleveland. So I'm going Cincinnati 23-16 in this one. Joe Burrow's been lighting it up, man. They're not winning games, but Joe Burrow is lighting it up. And so I don't expect this to stop. Cleveland generally does. I mean, it's a divisional matchup. So I do expect Cleveland and that defense to keep it close or make it ugly at times. But at the end of the day, Cincinnati and those weapons, Joe Burrow, I think they'll just outgun the hapless Cleveland Browns offense. Now, I think Nick Chubb is expected to play today. I think he's going to make his debut from injury, unless I'm mistaken. Somebody let me know in the chat. But I think Chris Jones is, or not Chris Jones, Nick Chubb may be making his season debut today. So I do definitely want to see how he looks in this one as well. Now, if Nick Chubb gets in this game and hits the ground running, that Cincinnati defense is Trinidad. And so there is a world in which Nick Chubb comes out and breaks these boys off for $130 or 2 touchdowns, and maybe it's a different type of game. But barring Nick Chubb just coming in and taking this one over, dominating and leading time possession, that defense gets to really settle in and keep this one close and ugly. Barring something like that happen, man, I expect Joe Burrow and them Bengals to get it done. Here you go, man. Right on time for my dog time. Houston on the road at Green Bay. And at time, I'm riding with you, dog. I'm taking the Texans. I went back and forth on this one. I think this is an interesting matchup. And then also these two quarterbacks are like Jordan Love has been in the league longer than CJ Stroud, of course, but starting wise, they're both year 2 starters. You see what I'm saying? So like they're the same class. They're the same class of quarterback as far as like, class in the way of not like maybe, no, I'll leave it where it's at. As far as QB classes go, they're the same guy. They're both young guys, both very talented guys, both guys that have shown like very high end ability. You know what I mean? But still young and, kind of settling into who they're going to be type of thing. And so I think it's an interesting matchup, man, of two of the next group, the next crop of like QB stars or leaders at the position. So, like we've got Burrow and Lamar and Patty, you know what I'm saying? Like that's a class that's right in there. You know what I'm saying? Then we've got, these guys, CJ Stroud, Jordan Love, Trevor Lawrence, you know what I mean? Like, I guess Justin Fields, like those guys are like their class. And I think these are the two guys at the top of their class. But I think Houston gets it done. Jordan Love just isn't playing clean enough ball, man. His accuracy is near the bottom of the league. He's turning the ball over at a high clip. So I think he's played 3 games. He played week 1, got injured, missed 2 or 3 weeks, came back. He's played 2 games since then. And I think he's So he's played. Is this going to be his 4th game? I think he's already got 5 interceptions in 3 games played. So I'm taking Houston in this one on the road. On the road in Green Bay. It's not cold. It's not too cold yet. I think Houston can go up there and get that done, especially if Joe Mixon's able to run the ball. Miami on the road at Indy. I'm taking Indianapolis 24-19. And correct me if I'm wrong. Is Joe Flacco still starting in this one as well? Is this one more week of cool, Joe? Let me check. And if you in the chat and let me know. Jonathan Taylor's out. Okay, now this might be Anthony Richardson's return. But Jonathan Taylor is out in this game. Be that as it may, I'm still taking the Colts 24-19. They are at home. The Dolphins still reeling, losing Tua. Not really, like I said, I mean, they just flapped in the wind. Now, there has been some Tua news here lately. They say that Tua's coming back to play. So I think they're 3 weeks into his IR stint. They say he's met with numerous neurologists inside and outside of the building. He doesn't have any deficits. He doesn't have any. I mean, he's fully recovered as you can be. He's fully recovered with no issues from the concussion. And all signs are pointed to, unless the Dolphins just decide to shut him down, all signs are pointed to will be back on the field sometime, probably sooner than later. Not today, but probably sooner than later. I would expect Tua's back on the field before Thanksgiving. And so we'll see how that goes. But I'm taking Indianapolis at the crib 24-19. Now, this week's game of the week, man. I'm going Detroit at Minnesota. I think this is the NFC's heavyweight matchup in the NFC. The two top teams in the NFC. Minnesota 5-0, Detroit 4-1. It's in Minnesota, and I wanted to go Minnesota so bad in this one. I just did, man. They're at home. I really like what Brian Flores is doing with that defense. Just torturing offenses. QBs and OCs alike are just really just being outfoxed by Brian Flores and that defense. They're playing damn good ball, and I love to see that. And then offensively, man, the rejuvenation and rebirth of Sam Darnold, maybe salvaging his career. We've talked about it. You know what I mean? So salvaging his career, going to give himself a chance to be a starter going forward. Whether or not that's in Minnesota, because you did spend the draft capital to bring in J.J. McCarthy. But at the same time, man, depending on how this year goes, you don't mess up a good thing, especially for an unknown. And J.J. McCarthy, like it's not. I mean, he was anticipated to start at some point this year, but he is a guy that needs to develop it. So continuing on the track they on, man, I would think they got to run it back with Sam Darnold. Like I said, depending on how this year plays out. But I say all that to say, when it all was said and done, I had to go with Detroit, man. I had to go with Detroit. Dan Campbell and those boys just they really I love the makeup and the mentality of that team. That's a hard-nosed, gritty, go for broke, balls to the wall football team, man, and I love it. Like, man, we don't play scared. We play hard. We play physical. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can slice and dice a little bit with our passing game. J-Mo really having a nice year as a deep threat. You still got Amari St. Brown, who maybe isn't be as productive as we've seen in the last couple years, but they still got that two-headed monster, man, in the backfield. And that's what I really like. I enjoy the most where they say, man, we done being cute. It's time to go ahead. It's time to get it done, man. Load up the backfield and tell somebody to run behind number 58. You know what I'm saying? Panay Sewell and those boys up front. You know what I'm saying? And that's really where the difference in this game for me is. If Detroit can find a way to run the ball against this Brian Flores defense, I mean, and that just changes it up, because then now what do? You know what I'm saying? Do we load up to stop Gibbs and Montgomery, who can each take it 60 yards? Okay, well, yeah, let's do that. And now J-Mo's over the top. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, so if anybody's going to crack this Brian Flores defense that the Vikings have displayed this far in the season, if anybody's going to crack it, I think it may be Ben Johnson in this Lions offense this week. Even though it is on the road, which is difficult, but I think most teams are set up like this in general, like they have to win one way. The Bengals have to win with Joe Burrow dicing you up. You know what I mean? Like, the Ravens have to win with Lamar and Derrick Henry carving you up. You know what I mean? Detroit can win on both sides of the coin, because Jared Goff and those boys, they can dice you up. They can put 30 points on the board in the air. But if that's not working, if that's not going, well, then guess what? We could park the Lamborghini and we can get in the Hummer. We can go mudding in the F-250 if we need to. You know what I'm saying? They can do both at a high level. And that defense, aggressive, feisty. Brian Branch showed his ass, man, against Dallas. He forced 3 turnovers by himself. You know what I'm saying? 2 interceptions, one of them in the end zone, and he forced a fumble. You know what I'm saying? So he's looking damn good. You know, the other part of that secondary is still a little up and down. Terrion Arnold, the rookie from Alabama, he's still taking his lumps, but damn, now I'm talking myself out of it. Aiden Hutchinson's gone. They ain't got nobody to rush the passer. All right. I'm going to keep it rolling. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to stick with it, man. 24-23. So obviously this is a game that could go either way, but I think I'm going with the balance and I'm going with the balance of Detroit. And then also there's a certain style of confidence and moxie you got. Like, Detroit's been a contender now for 3 years. Minnesota, this is new, because like Kirk's gone. So like that old iteration of Minnesota, that's not there. They don't get to claim that past confidence of being in tough situations or big time spots. No, not with Sam Darnold. So this is new again for them. And I don't think they're not as balanced. I'm not as comfortable with them running the ball, or not as confident that they'll be able to run the ball successfully, even with Aaron Jones. You know what I'm saying? So I'm still taking Detroit, man. But I think that's going to be a hell of a game. That's going to be a hell of a game. Can't wait to see it. Philly at New York. Saquon making his return to the Giants. 24-20. I think Philly gets this done. And now that A.J. Brown's back, A.J. Brown being back, I think is going to go a long way to helping to get Jalen Hurts settled back down. Last game, he got the ball to A.J. Brown. I think it was like 6 for 115 and a touchdown or 2. He didn't throw any interceptions. And so now that he's got his full complement of weapons back, now let's see if Justin Hurts can maybe pick it back up or turn a corner and start playing ball the way that we've seen him be able to do so. Oh, my dog Miles in the chat, man. What do you say? Oh, I missed you too, Tom. I'm going to come back to you. He said, who do I start, Sam Darnold or Kyler? So Sam Darnold against Detroit or Kyler against is it the Rams? No, against the Chargers. Ooh. Mm. Mm. And I got both those games low scoring, so I don't expect a ton of offense in either of those games. I want to lean Kyler. I think that Detroit game. I think that Detroit game is going to be. I take I take Kyler at home against the Chargers. I think he has a chance to have a bigger day maybe than Sam. I don't know, man. I don't think either of those guys are going to have big fantasy days. Like this is like a 18 to 22 point day for both of them. So like it's going to be close either way. Like let's say if Sam gets if Sam gets 18 points, Kyler gets 20, or Kyler gets 20 points, Sam gets 21.7. You know what I mean? So it's going to be. I think either one of those, neither of them have a clear advantage. But I think I would take Kyler having a softer opponent than Detroit, and Kyler's at no, well they both at home because the Chargers defense is stout, but the strength is in the front seven. The secondary is pretty weak, and Bosa is always banged up or injured. The D tackles on the inside are weak as well. Yeah, I go Kyler. I go Kyler. And Tom said they say week 8. Okay, I'm assuming he's talking about the Tua return. So Tua's return week 8. So oh shit, that's next week. And so yeah, that's next week. Okay. Yeah, man, I hope that boy make it, man. Golly, that boy making me nervous. Moving on, man. The Raiders on the road at the Rams. Give me Matt Stafford and those boys 27-19. The Raiders are imploding, man, before our eyes. I mean, and honestly, I don't know what could we have expected. Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell were the two quarterbacks at the top of your depth chart when you started this season. So the right was on the wall, and you let go of Josh Jacobs. So we're not going to be a dominant running team either. The O-line was in disarray. You know what I mean? We go get Brock Bowers instead of Talisi Fuaga. Now, Brock Bowers turns out to be a good pick for sure. He's dominant. He's been the best tight end in football as a rookie. He has. It's been call it a down tight end year if we want to. Brock Bowers probably been the best tight end in football. And then George Kittle, who's been injured, but now that he's been back, he's been getting in the paint pretty regularly since he's been back. But Brock Bowers been the best tight end in football, man. Sam Laporta having a little bit of a sophomore slump. Travis Kelce lost his legs. Isaiah Likely has been spotty. You know what I mean? Mark Andrews finally got in the paint last week, but I mean, it hasn't been overly productive. So yeah, Brock Bowers, man. Brock Bowers, best tight end in football right now. But I say all that to say, give me the Rams, give me Stafford and those guys, Stafford and McVay, find a way to get it done. Max Crosby's upset. He lost his homeboy Davante Adams. He's dropping subtle or not so subtle hints in the media that, man, look, hey, I'm not here to rebuild, man. I need to find somewhere. I need somewhere that's going to be able to win. So he's not happy. So yeah, this Rams team is blowing up before our eyes. I expect the Rams to go ahead and get that done at the crib. Moving on, Carolina on the road against Washington. Washington taking that L against Baltimore. In the game, they stay pretty competitive. I look for this to be a week that they get back, man. Get back on track. Get back to being explosive. Get back to flying high, flying fast. Jaden Daniels and those guys, 30-17. I don't expect them to be to have too many issues with this poor Carolina defense. There's not much of anything coming back on offense. So I look for Jaden Daniels and the boys to get back feeling good. Get back feeling good. Get back in the win column with a big day at the crib against a soft opponent in the Carolina Panthers. Moving on, man. Now, this one could have been game of the week as well. Kansas City on the road at San Francisco. Super Bowl rematch. And this is the thing about these two teams. Because neither of these two teams are exactly what their record says they are. Like Kansas City is 5-0. But man, if we add context, man, it's an ugly 5-0, but it's a 5-0. And then the Niners, what? The Niners are the Niners 3-3? Yeah, the Niners are 3-3. And honestly, probably should be 5-1. But coulda, shoulda, woulda, you know what I'm saying? If it's a fifth and all of that, I already know what y'all gonna say. But I'm just saying, I feel similar about the Niners like I do about the Bengals. The Bengals are 2-4. They could be 4-2. You know what I mean? Like they could be 5-1. You know what I mean? I mean, that's how these games go. It's that close. And the Niners definitely let one get away against the Rams, let another one get away against the Cardinals. You know what I'm saying? So I think and they've been injured and beat up, but on the road in Kansas City, I'm going with the Niners, man. I think this one means more to the Niners. The Niners are a team that's eager to get back on track, to get back. They're anxious to like put themselves back into the mix for the driver's seat of this conference. Because right now they're a couple steps behind Detroit and Minnesota. You know what I mean? As far as just pacing in this NFC playoff race, just the way things are going. So this is the point of the season, I think, for them where, okay, we got to start stacking some wins. We let two slide. We let two get away that we shouldn't have. So this is a game, I think, for them. They could put a lot on this. It's at the crib. You know what I'm saying? Like Super Bowl rematch or whatever you want to say, if you want to call it that. But bigger than that, this is also the point of the season where I think they really kind of turn it on and start stacking wins and put themselves back into the upper echelon of the NFC. So it could have been anybody, but the fact that it's Kansas City with that mindset already, I think that's going to give them enough to get this done. And like I said, they're getting healthy. Debo and Kittle are back now. It's going to be week 3 for them back in the mix. Now, Jawan Jennings is out in this game, but Ayuk is starting to wake up a little bit and kind of get back to himself the longer we play. Jordan Mason got banged up a little bit last week, but as far as I know, I'm going to see if I can double check. I think he's expected to play. Yeah. I don't even see him on the injury report, at least on his Bleacher Report injury report. So he should be back as well. And so I think they'll be able to get it done. Fred Warner's playing Defensive Player of the Year caliber of football as well. And so Nick Bosa lining up against Jawan Taylor, his soft ass at right tackle. You know what I mean? Like there's matchups here that I just think speak to the Niners having a little bit of an edge. In this one, that's why I'm leaning there. But at the same time, man, Kansas City and Patty, man, they get it done, man. They get it done, and especially if you leave it close, you shoot yourself in the foot, you stub your own toe, and that might be all she wrote, man. Come on, man. Miles, come on, dog. Y'all gotta stop being so sensitive. Don't start with the disrespect. Man, you can't say nothing about them without it being so if you say any type of constructive critique is disrespect, y'all gotta chill, man. It's not in Arrowhead, bro. It's in San Francisco. Unless I'm tripping. No, it's in San Francisco. It's not in Arrowhead. In Arrowhead, I probably go to Chiefs. I think it's gonna be a close game either way. If it's in Arrowhead, I probably would go to Chiefs, like 24-23, that type of ball game. But it's in San Francisco, so I'm going with, like I said, with everything I was just kind of saying that the Niners have in their favor. That's gas they got in the tank. Chiefs just showing up to play ball. Like this matchup doesn't mean anything to them. You know what I mean? Like when the champs come to the arena, like nobody is special to the champs. You know what I'm saying? Like 95 Bulls didn't care where they went. We showing up here to play ball. You know what I mean? But everybody who ran into the 95 Bulls was like, holy shit, that's 95 Bulls right there. You know what I mean? Like, so it's different. Like, if the Jazz would have played the Bulls, and I don't know if they did or not, but I'm just saying, if the Jazz would have played the Bulls that next season after losing, they lost 2 in a row to the Bulls. But let's say after they lose, this would have been, man, y'all gonna make me start trying to count and do math and shit. Oh, the 95 Bulls, I think, beat the Jazz that year. Then they also went back and beat them in 96. If my years are right. So after the Bulls beat the Jazz in 95, let's say if they had to play the Jazz in the regular season in 96, that don't mean shit to the Bulls. Like, they just, bro, we 5 championships in, bro. Like, yeah, we just spanked y'all in check. Like, it don't mean the same thing to them. But the Jazz, like, it's a game for them. You know what I mean? Like, it's that type of party. But yeah, no, it's in San Francisco, man, as far as I can tell. So I'm going Niners. Big Juice in the building, man. What's going on? He said, yeah, they clicking right now. I'm not gonna lie, man. I think so too. Like, I think they've gotten their own way a little bit, and they did get, you know what I'm saying, kind of hampered with the injuries or whatever. Brock Purdy's playing good ball, man. All the stats aren't pretty, but Brock Purdy is playing good ball. Maybe no, I don't want to say it's gonna be like a coming out party because that Chiefs defense is the truth. That Chiefs defense is the real deal. We talked about Chris Jones, that secondary, Trick McDuffie, and what's the other old boy at corner? The other corner they got that's been playing solid ball as well. Damn, now I can't think of Cuz name, but no, that Chiefs defense playing good ball. Nick Bolton in the middle of that defense, and then also man the white dude from Wisconsin, the other linebacker for the Chiefs. Miles, you supposed to be in here, man. What's buddy name, man? Leo Chanel, I think. Leo Chanel is, and I didn't make this up. I'm not the first one to say. I ain't trying to take no credit, but I heard somebody say this, that Leo Chanel is like the Chiefs' Mike Vrabel, and that's a spot on assessment. Because Vrabel, if you remember, he was a guy. He's got that similar size. Vrabel was like 6'5". Vrabel's a big ass dude, but yeah, Vrabel was like 6'5", 240, 250, and he's kind of a dual linebacker. He can play inside. He can play stacker inside. He can play on the edge a little bit. You know what I mean? More of a Leo or Lion style of like edge, as opposed to maybe a pure rusher. But yeah, just kind of like a do it all trash man. Draymond. Leo Chanel is they Draymond. Like Mike Vrabel was the Draymond for the Patriots, I feel like. See, I like that Chiefs defense for sure. I think it's gonna be a tough game. But I think it means more to the Niners. Moving on, man. We got them guys, man. Come on, man. Big nation business in the building, man. The Jets on the road gets the Steelers Sunday night prime time. And I'm taking the good guys, man. I know what's going on. Russell Wilson making his debut as the starter. I'm curious to see. I imagine that Justin's going to have red zone packages because that's where the only way we've been able to score offensively is Justin Fields running the ball in the red zone. Essentially, 80% of our touchdowns are Justin Fields running the ball in the red zone. You know what I mean? Essentially. I mean, whatever. But so I expect that he'll have some packages there. But I really think that this win, lose, or draw, I definitely just expect to see more fluid movement in the passing game. That's what I'm looking forward to. I'm not saying it's going to be a 350-yard day, 4-touchdown day for Russell Wilson. That's what I'm saying. If he throws for 256 on 65% completion percentage, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, that's a hell of a day. We ain't had that all year. We ain't had that in 3 years. Just that. And that's enough to win this game. You know what I mean? Like, so that's what I'm looking forward to. Then also, of course, want to see what Davante looks like reunited with Aaron Rodgers, and it feels so good. You know what I'm saying? Boy, hamstring been hurt for 3 weeks, gets to New York, and now his hamstring is tip-top, and he's going to play. Play Sunday night. It's all good. But yeah, we'll see how it shakes out. I'm hoping my defense can do enough to get to Aaron Rodgers and definitely cause hell. That Jets offensive line hasn't been great, and so the strength of my Steelers defense for sure is definitely in our front seven, in our pass rush. Let's see if TJ can get home. Alex Highsmith, our other edge rusher, he's making his return from being out the last 3-4 weeks as well, and so Cam Hayward playing dominant football at the defensive tackle position. PFF has him ranked number 1 as far as defensive tackles go to this point in the season. So he's back after being injured last year. So we've got some favorable matchups on our defensive line against their offensive line, and that's where I'm hoping we make the difference in this game. I'm taking the good guys though, man. 24-20. Yeah. Can't wait to see this one. Of course, y'all know how I feel. Monday night, Baltimore on the road at Tampa Bay. I think this could be a good ass game. Well, it could be. No, it ain't. I ain't gonna lie. I think this is just a bad matchup for Tampa Bay. I really do think it's a bad matchup for Tampa Bay. And I've got this score. I probably could have widened this score a little bit now that I think about it, because I really think that Baltimore is just bad news bears for Tampa Bay. I think this is another game where Baltimore probably is going to rush for 350 yards in this game. I really do. I think Derrick Henry, this is going to be a game that Derrick Henry is going to threaten 200. Lamar's going to threaten. Lamar's going to be somewhere around 90. Like, I really think they're going to run the ball extremely well in this game. And then also, now this is going to be a 350-yard day for Lamar. I think he's going to be somewhere around 275. No, I take it back. But yeah, no, I think it's a big game offensively for Baltimore, though. I definitely think between Lamar and Derrick Henry, I expect them to rush for 200 plus yards handily, closer to 250. I really think they get loose on this Tampa Bay defense, and then also throwing the ball as well. I think some things are going to open up, not necessarily with Zay Flowers, but what Atlanta showed us against this Tampa Bay defense is that, man, they were soft in the middle in the passing game for sure. Outside of Davante David, but everybody else was getting cooked. Everybody else was getting cooked, especially in the middle of that defense. And in the middle of the offense for Baltimore, that's where they want to get busy anyway. That's where Isaiah Likely is going to be. That's where Mark Andrews is going to be. That's where Zay Flowers is going to be, in the middle of that defense. So I'm looking at Darnell Mooney, and I'm thinking, okay, what did Darnell Mooney do that was successful? And is Baltimore going to, if they're smart, those are the things we're going to have Zay Flowers doing this game. You know what I'm saying? And then you also do have two super talented guys in the position in Likely and Andrews. And so I definitely think this is a game that just tees up for Baltimore to have themselves a big day. Now, Tampa Bay and Big Bake, man, y'all know how I feel with Big Bake. I don't think they're going to go away quietly. But also, I don't like this matchup for them. I don't like that matchup against this defense either. I just don't like this matchup for Tampa Bay, man. Like I said, I could probably widen that score. I got a 28-23. This actually could have been probably 28-17, 28-19. You know what I'm saying? Like, and especially now I'm talking it out with y'all, the more and more I think about it, man, I just do not like this matchup for Tampa Bay. Unless Lamar just comes out and lays an egg. And I don't see that happening. I think Lamar's playing, we've said it before, I think Lamar's playing the best football he's ever played. And that's including his 2 MVP seasons. I don't think we've ever seen Lamar play as clean, as confident, as dangerous, as dynamic on both sides of the coin, passing and throwing, than we've seen 6 games into this year. So, yeah, I think this is I'm going to widen that out. I'm going to widen that out, man. 28-19. Way more field goals in this one for Tampa Bay. Yeah. Then, of course, another Monday. This a wasted game. They could have snuck that game in the Sunday 12 o'clock schedule because nobody is watching this. Who, besides Isaiah, my dog Isaiah, he might still be in the chat. Besides Isaiah, who's watching this game Monday night when I could be watching Baltimore and Lamar Jackson against Big Baker Mayfield and Tampa Bay Buccaneers? I can't wait. I'm wondering if there's going to be an announcement about how bad the ratings were for this second Monday night game, Chargers on the road at Arizona. My dog Miles might watch it a little bit for fantasy purposes. And then, matter of fact, man, homeboy that was in the chat last week, Jersey Cardinal. He's from New Jersey. He moved to Arizona because he's a Cardinals fan. He probably going to be, it's 3 people I know that might watch this game. Everybody else is going to be watching Baltimore and Tampa Bay. Be that as it may, I am taking Arizona at the crib, 20-17. I think Kyler could be the difference in this game. Like I was talking to my dog Miles, like I say, it's not a lot of scoring to go around in this. I think the Chargers, they're going to run the ball. They're going to try to slow the game down for sure. The defense can be sticky in spots. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, all told, man, I'm taking Arizona at the crib, 20-17. And then, matter of fact, is that it? That's all. There it is. Hey, yeah, that's definitely it, man. That's it. That is all. That's all the games, man. All the games we had today, Sunday. Now, I'm going to tell y'all again before we get out of here, because I told y'all last week. Last week, I was 13-0. In case y'all forgot, last week, your boy was 13-0, man. So I hope you had your pen and pencil ready. Hope you had your pen and pencil out. If you make a little money, shout out to you. Feel free to send your boy something. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to tell you. But yeah, other than that, man, y'all have fun. Y'all be safe. Football Sunday. And y'all got 45 minutes to spare. Did great on time. But before we get out this thing, it wouldn't only be right to close it out with them real member roll call now. Now, first one in the building, of course, Mondusa in the building. Appreciate you as always. My dog, man. Josh came through, 100 down for the nation, man. Big nation business in the building, man. Appreciate your homeboy. Know we're going to handle business tonight. Sizzle's in the building as well. Appreciate you as always. I'm looking for you. Headface stop through and say what's up to your dog. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate that, of course. My dog Miles is in the building as well. What's happening? Let's go. Let me see here. Oh, man. Hey, come on, man. Them members is in the building. D-Dot know what's going on. Big nation business. Come on, man. Big nation business in the building. I'm looking for you. Matter of fact, and hold on. Oh, man, wait. I can't leave without shout out my dog, Terrible Time Walker, holding it down for them Houston Texans as always. And, of course, my dog, OJ Big Juice, man, dropping in. Oh, hold on, man. Oh, Ty. Oh, man, I called it, bro. I picked it. I took the Texans. Matter of fact, let me find it for you real quick. Where you at? Yeah, I took the Texans, man. 27-24. 27-24. I think Jordan loves playing sloppy football, man. So the highs are high, but the lows are low. You know what I mean? Like, he had a terrible interception, pick six in the end zone, just last week. You know what I'm saying? Like, about to get a sack or trying to prevent a safety, throws a softball lob up, you know what I'm saying? It gets picked off and put right in the end zone. I mean, just he's too up and down and inconsistent for me, man. He's still when he's on and when he's dealing is good, but I think I don't know, man. I can't necessarily trust it, even though they are at home. I like the cleaner, more consistent play of CJ Stroud, and this one to be the difference. And especially if Joe Mixon is still going to continue to run the ball the way he's been running the ball, I like y'all chances going up to Green Bay and getting that done. I got you, man. I got you. And Joe Mixon on my fantasy, so I need him to show up and show out as well. So, hey. Hey, but there y'all have it, man. We're going to get at this thing and make a good time this morning, man. So, what was I going to say? My dog trying to throw me all off. Oh, y'all know what's going on. Say the same thing every week. So, feel free to say it with me at home. If I forgot to say your name, damn, my bad. But charge it to my head. Don't charge it to my heart. You know I'm thinking about you. Appreciate all the love support as always. Y'all know what's going on Football Sunday, man. You tell the wife and kids to find something to do. You find your favorite spot on your couch. Get your favorite adult beverage in your hand. Turn your favorite TV. Turn your favorite team onto your favorite TV. And you lock in, man, and handle your business. And I will talk to y'all Wednesday. Don't forget, Wednesday, recap, 7 o'clock. Where Willie was right, where Willie was wrong. Talk about the action. And until then, peace. Y'all enjoy your Sunday.